I told her they were for her. Every single item in that house. Because the house wasn't in my husband's name. It was in mine, and I just sold it. She stood in the doorway, mouth open, watching movers pack up her belongings along with everything else. "You can't do this. This is my son's house." I smiled. "No, Mrs. Park, this is my house. I bought it, I paid for it, and I just sold it to a lovely couple who take possession in 30 days. You have until then to find somewhere else to live." "Where's my son? David, David!" My husband came running from his home office, looking panicked. "Mom, what's wrong? Your wife is kicking me out. She sold the house." He turned to me, face pale. "Sarah, what is she talking about?" "Exactly what she said. I sold the house. We close in 30 days. If you love watching people learn that traditions don't override property rights, hit that subscribe button. Because this story is about to get very, very satisfying. My name is Sarah Park, and I married into a traditional Korean family that thought my independence was optional. Let me start from the beginning. I met David 7 years ago. He was smart, funny, kind, a software engineer with a great career, and from what I could tell, a healthy relationship with his family. We dated for 2 years before getting engaged. His mother, Mrs. Park, seemed nice enough. A little overbearing, maybe. She had opinions about our wedding, about my dress, about the venue, but I chalked it up to mother of the groom stuff. The red flags started appearing during wedding planning. In our culture, the bride's family pays for the wedding. Mrs. Park announced at one of our planning meetings. "We're splitting it," I said firmly. "David and I are paying for most of it, and both sets of parents are contributing equally." She looked horrified. "That's not traditional." "We're not traditional," I replied. David squeezed my hand under the table. Supportive, or so I thought. After the wedding, we bought a house. And by we, I mean I bought it. I'd been working in tech sales for 8 years, making excellent money. I'd saved aggressively, invested wisely. I had the down payment. I had the credit score. I qualified for the mortgage on my own. David had student loans and less savings. His name wasn't on the deed or the mortgage. We'd discussed it. He was fine with it. We were a team. The house was beautiful. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a big backyard. More space than we needed, but we were planning for the future. Kids, eventually. A home office for each of us. Room to grow. We'd been in the house for 6 months when Mrs. Park started making comments. "This house is too big for just 2 people. The guest room is very spacious, very comfortable. In Korea, multi-generational living is normal. Respected elders live with their children." I didn't take the bait, just smiled and changed the subject. Then came the incident with the key. I came home from work one day to find Mrs. Park in my kitchen, cooking. She'd completely rearranged my spices and moved my cooking utensils. "Mrs. Park, how did you get in?" "I have a key, dear." "I didn't give you a key." "David did. He's such a good son." I found David in his office. "Did you give your mother a key to our house?" "She asked for one, in case of emergencies." "This isn't an emergency. She's reorganizing our kitchen. She's just trying to help." "I don't want help. I want privacy." "Sarah, she's my mother. In our culture, I don't care about our culture right now. This is our house, not a community center. I want the key back." We fought about it. Eventually, I changed the locks. Mrs. Park was offended. David was caught in the middle. His father called to lecture me about respecting elders. Things were tense for a few months. Then they seemed to settle down. Mrs. Park was polite but distant. I thought we'd reached an understanding. I was wrong. It was a Tuesday morning. I'd taken the day off work for a dentist appointment. I was in yoga pants and a t-shirt, drinking coffee in my living room when I heard a key in the front door. Mrs. Park walked in. She wasn't alone. She had suitcases. 3 of them. "Good morning, Sarah. I'm moving in." I stared at her. "Excuse me?" "I'm moving in. In our culture, the eldest son's house belongs to his mother. It's tradition. I've decided it's time to come live here." "No." She ignored me. Started dragging suitcases toward the stairs. "I'll take the master bedroom. It's largest. Most appropriate for the family matriarch." "That's my bedroom. You can't just—" "Where's David? He'll explain." "David!" My husband emerged from his office, looking sheepish. He'd known about this. "David, did you know your mother was moving in today?" He wouldn't meet my eyes. She mentioned she was thinking about it. "Thinking about it? She has suitcases." "It's tradition, honey. In Korean families, the eldest son takes care of his mother. She'll live with us. It's expected." "Expected by who? Not by me." Mrs. Park was already upstairs. I heard her in our bedroom, opening drawers, moving things. I ran up the stairs. She was throwing my clothes out of the dresser, actually throwing them, making a pile on the floor. "What are you doing?" "Making room for my things. You can move your clothes to the smaller bedroom." "This is my house, my bedroom. You can't just..." "This is my son's house, and I am his mother. That means this is my house. You are just the wife. Wives come and go. Mothers are forever." I looked at David, standing uselessly in the doorway. "Are you going to let her talk to me like that?" He shifted uncomfortably. "Sarah, in our culture..." "Stop saying that. I don't care about in our culture. This is America. This is my house that I bought. She can't just move in." Mrs. Park smiled at me, condescending, victorious. "I can, and I have. You'll adjust. Good wives are flexible." I took a deep breath, then another. I was so angry I could barely see straight, but I smiled. Sweet, calm, fake. "You're right, Mrs. Park. I should be more flexible, more accommodating. Welcome to your new home. Let me help you unpack." Both of them looked surprised. David looked relieved. I spent the rest of the day being the perfect hostess. I helped Mrs. Park organize the master bedroom, my master bedroom. I moved my clothes to the guest room. I made dinner. I smiled and nodded while she explained how things would work now that she was head of the household. That night, I slept in the guest room. David tried to join me. I locked the door. The next morning, I got up early. Very early. I made phone calls. To my real estate agent, "List the house. Today. I want it on the market by this afternoon." To my lawyer, "I need to sell my house fast. What's the process for a property in my name only?" To my boss, "I need to work remote for a few weeks. Family situation." By noon, the house was listed. By 3 p.m., we had our first showing scheduled. By that evening, we had 2 offers. I accepted the higher one. Cash buyer, 30-day close. I didn't tell David or Mrs. Park. The next morning, I woke up early again. The moving trucks arrived at 8 a.m. Mrs. Park came out of the master bedroom in her robe, furious. "What is this noise?" "Moving trucks," I said cheerfully. "We're moving." "Moving? Where?" "Well, I'm moving to my new apartment. You and David can move wherever you'd like." "What are you talking about?" I handed her the sales contract. "I sold the house. We close in 30 days. You need to find somewhere else to live." She stared at the paper, then at me. "You can't do this. This is my son's house." "No, Mrs. Park, this is my house. My name is on the deed. My name is on the mortgage. I bought it before I married David, and I just sold it." "David, David!" My husband came running, still in his pajamas. "What's going on?" "Your wife sold our house." He looked at me, confused. "Sarah, what is she talking about?" I handed him a copy of the contract. "I sold the house. The buyers take possession in 30 days. I've already rented an apartment. 1 bedroom. For me." "1 bedroom? What about me?" "What about you? You told me it's tradition for the eldest son to take care of his mother, so take care of her. Find a place for the 2 of you." His face went pale. "Sarah, you can't be serious." "I'm completely serious. When your mother walked into my house uninvited, took over my bedroom, threw out my belongings, and you did nothing to stop her, I realized something. I'm not a partner in this marriage. I'm just another piece of furniture that can be moved around for your mother's convenience." "That's not fair." "What's not fair is your mother telling me I'm just the wife and that wives come and go. What's not fair is you prioritizing her feelings over mine in every single decision. What's not fair is you giving her a key to my house without asking me." Mrs. Park was turning red. "You are a selfish, disrespectful woman. My son deserves better. Then he's welcome to find better. I'm done being disrespected in my own home." "This is his home too." "Actually, it's not. His name isn't on the deed. He didn't contribute to the down payment. He doesn't pay the mortgage. Legally, this house is 100% mine, and I just sold it." David looked like he'd been slapped. "You're doing this to punish me." "I'm doing this to protect myself. Your mother said mothers are forever and wives come and go. She was right. I'm going. You and your forever mother can figure out the rest." "Sarah, please, we can talk about this. We can work it out." "Work what out? She's already moved in. She's already claimed the master bedroom. You already chose her over me. What's left to work out?" The movers were packing up the living room, boxing up my books, my artwork, my furniture. "Wait, why are they packing everything?" David asked. "Because it's all mine. I bought it. I'm taking it." Even the couch, the TV, especially the couch and TV. I have receipts for everything. Feel free to check. Mrs. Park's face was getting redder. This is theft. You can't take everything. It's not theft. It's taking what belongs to me. If you want furniture, I suggest you go shopping. Over the next few hours, the movers packed up everything I owned, which was most of the house. The couch, the TV, the dining table, the beds, the artwork, the kitchen appliances I'd bought, the dishes, the decorations. What was left was David's home office furniture and Mrs. Park's 3 suitcases. Mrs. Park sat on the floor of the empty living room, sobbing. How could you do this? We have nowhere to go. You have 30 days. That's plenty of time to find an apartment. We can't afford an apartment. I'm on a fixed income and David has student loans. That sounds like a problem you should have considered before moving into a house that wasn't yours. David was still trying to negotiate. Sarah, come on, this is extreme. We can fix this. Mom can move back out. We can go back to how things were. How things were? You mean when you gave her a key without asking me? When you told me her invasion of our privacy was tradition? When you shrugged while she threw my clothes on the floor? I didn't know she was going to do that. But when she did it, you did nothing. You stood there and told me to be more flexible. You chose her. She's my mother. And I was your wife. Was. Past tense. That got his attention. What do you mean, was? I pulled divorce papers out of my bag. I'd had my lawyer draft them that morning. I'm filing for divorce. You'll be served at your office next week. You can't be serious. I've never been more serious about anything in my life. Mrs. Park started wailing. Actual wailing. This is all my fault. I've ruined my son's marriage. Finally, a moment of self-awareness. But it was too late. I walked out of that house and didn't look back. The divorce was quick. No kids, no shared assets. The house was mine, sold before the divorce was final. David tried to claim he deserved half the proceeds since we'd been married when I sold it. My lawyer laughed at him. The house was my separate property, purchased before marriage with my own money. He had no claim. Mrs. Park tried to apologize, left voicemails, sent emails, said she'd made a mistake, that she'd overstepped, that she hoped I'd forgive her. I didn't respond. David tried to reconcile, begged me to reconsider, said he'd set boundaries with his mother, that things would be different. Things would be different because I forced them to be different, I told him. Not because you suddenly developed a spine. I don't want a partner I have to train to respect me. I always respected you. You let your mother call me just the wife and claim my house as hers. That's not respect, David. That's tolerance at best. 6 months after I moved out, I heard through mutual friends that David and his mother were living in a small 2-bedroom apartment. Mrs. Park was miserable. David was stressed. They were barely speaking to each other. Apparently, living together wasn't the beautiful tradition Mrs. Park had imagined. It was cramped, tense, and neither of them was happy. I, on the other hand, was thriving. I'd rented a beautiful 1-bedroom apartment with a view. No one could walk in unannounced. No one rearranged my kitchen. No one questioned my choices. I got promoted at work, took a trip to Japan, started dating someone new who thought the fact that I owned my own home before marriage was impressive, not threatening. A year after the divorce, David's father called me. Sarah, I owe you an apology. We didn't understand what we were asking of you, what we allowed. My wife's behavior was unacceptable, and David should have protected you. I'm sorry. It was the first genuine apology I'd received from anyone in that family. I appreciate that, Mr. Park, but it doesn't change anything. I know. I just wanted you to know that we see it now. We see what we did wrong. Does Mrs. Park see it? A long pause. She's learning, slowly. 2 years after the divorce, I bought another house, bigger than the first one. This time truly just for me. My name on the deed. My choices in every room. My sanctuary. I heard through friends that David got married again, to a Korean-American woman his mother approved of. I wondered if history would repeat itself. But that wasn't my problem anymore. Here's what I learned from all of this. Marriage is about partnership. Real partnership. When someone tells you it's tradition or it's my culture to disrespect you, run. Culture is important. Tradition matters. But they don't override basic respect and consent. If your partner won't stand up for you against their family, they've already chosen sides, and it's not yours. Property rights matter. Knowing what's legally yours matters. I bought that house in my name because I could afford it alone. That decision saved me when the marriage fell apart. Don't be afraid to walk away from people who don't respect your boundaries, even if they're family, even if it's tradition. My mother-in-law walked into my house with a key I never gave her and said I was just the wife, that the house belonged to her because tradition. She took over my bedroom, threw out my belongings. My husband shrugged and called it culture. I smiled sweetly and said, welcome. The next morning, moving trucks arrived. When she asked who they were for, I told her they were for her, for everyone, because I just sold the house. The house she thought belonged to her son belonged only to me, and I'd decided I was done living somewhere I wasn't respected. She had 30 days to find somewhere else to be the matriarch. Here's the thing about tradition. It only works when everyone consents to it. When it's forced on someone, it's not tradition. It's manipulation. It's control. Stand up for yourself. Protect what's yours. Set boundaries and enforce them. And if someone tells you that respecting yourself is disrespectful to them, believe them. They've just told you they only feel respected when you're being disrespected. Walk away from those people. Even if they're family, even if it's tradition, you deserve a partner who chooses you, a home that's actually yours. Respect that doesn't come with conditions. I found all of that. But first, I had to sell the house and serve the papers. Best decision I ever made. Know your worth, own your assets, protect your peace, and never ever let someone claim ownership of something you built just because they birthed someone you married. That's not tradition. That's theft, and I don't negotiate with thieves.